So we get the Seal of Hammerdal. That's the thing we get on the special. So I'm going to put that. And we are there at the capital. So, have camouflage. We do not have hunting. Now, hunting won't come in a lot of handy this way because either we stay on the ship and we... No, either way, we're going to end up... Let me show you the map here real fast. Okay, do you see do you see the wildlands there? That's a lot of barren stuff. And it says here hunting won't always see he will always be able to hunt for food for himself except in areas of wasteland and desert. So that's going to be more of a wasteland desert area. So hunting won't necessarily come in a lot of handy for this game. We have Sixth Sense. We have Tracking. We do not have Healing. We can. In the sense of abilities, like if you have the hunting ability, you'll be able to follow tracks. But as far as things like meals, so hunting replaces the need for meals most of the time, unless it says otherwise. So healing is a useful one, especially if we have to run away from danger, we might get hurt. We have Mind Shield. There's always Mind Blast. That would make us more for combat, though. We have Animal Kinship. And we don't have Mind Over Matter. So if we wanted to avoid combat this time around, I might suggest either Mind Over Matter or Healing. Just because if we are in a situation where we can't avoid combat, we're going to need the healing. That's my 2 cents as far as that. What do y'all think? Do y'all have a vote? I can't do poll. So I have to have that hashtag for the voting, Judith, because I am not affiliate. And until I get affiliate, I can't use polls. No, that's part of the rules. Oh, let me go ahead and put that up in case, because Slow knows how that works. But oh, hunting different than tracking. Yes. Sorry, I missed tracking. We do have tracking. Hunting is a different skill. The major thing for hunting is the ability to avoid the need for meals. Hey, Strauss the artist. Sky? Artist, do you go by a different name for something else? Oh, you know him from work. Right on. Okay. Gotcha. Now I'm up to... on the same level now. So, exclamation point rules. Your fan club lives in Michigan. I'm alright with that. So here you go. For those who don't know. So artist is thinking heal. Anyone else have any input to read off? So mind over matter is mastery of this discipline enables the Kai Lord to move small objects with his power of concentration. So y'all want healing, so let me go ahead and put that healing on there. So let's kind of read through the story so far. Play brains. Right on. All right, let's go through the story so far. In the northern land of Summerlin, it has been the custom for many centuries to send the children of the warrior lords to the monastery of the Kai. There they are taught the skills and disciplines of their noble fathers. In olden times, during the age of the Black Moon, the Dark Lords waged war on Summerland. The conflict was a long and bitter trial of strength that ended in the victory for Summerlending at the great battle of Macken Gorge. King Ulnar and the allies of Durner broke the Dark Lord armies at the pass of Moytora, and forced them back into the bottomless abyss of Macken Gorge. Vashna, the mightiest of the Dark Lords, was slain upon the sword of King Ulnar, called Summersword, the Sword of the Sun. Since that age, the Dark Lords have vowed vengeance upon Summerland and the house of Ulnar. You are Lone Wolf, a young Kai initiate who was learning the secret skills of the Kai Lords. 2 days ago, your peaceful country was plunged into war when a vast Dark Lord army suddenly invaded Summerland and completely destroyed the Kai Monastery. All the Kai Lords were in attendance for the Feast of Feymarn. I'm gonna get used to these words one day. And all were killed as the monastery was surrounded and destroyed, the walls collapsing in on the assembled company. You, the only Kai Lord to survive the massacre, vowed to avenge their deaths. You knew your first task had to be to warn the king, for without the Kai Lords to lead her armies, your country, Summerlin, would be unable to mobilize in time to drive the Dark Lords back. Your journey to the capital was a perilous indeed. The enemy has overrun much of the country, and we're marching upon Holmgard, the capital itself. But despite the many dangers, you fought your way through to the capital and delivered your warning to the king's court. There you were greatly praised for your skills and bravery, but told your mission was not complete. With the Kai Lords dead, there remained only one power in all of Magmun that could save your people from the Dark Lords, the Summer Sword. After the defeat of Vashna, the Summer Sword had been bestowed upon the allies of Durner as a mark of the trust and allegiance that existed between the two kingdoms. In return, King Aelin of Durner gave Summerlin a magnificent golden ring bearing the royal arms of Durner. This is known as the Seal of Hammerdal. At that time, King Aelin vowed that if ever the shadow of the West should rise again to threaten Summerland, Durner would come to the aid of her ally. The king has given you the seal of Hammerdal. Your quest is to travel to Durner to fetch the Summer Sword back. But meanwhile, the enemy have broken through the outer defense of the capital and are preparing to besiege the city wall. As Captain Duval of the King's Guard leads you to the royal armory to equip you for your mission, the king's words keep coming back to you. 40 days, Lone Wolf. We have the strength to stand against them for only 40 days. So, now, equipment. Guard Captain Duval leads you to the royal armory, where your green tunic and kai cloak are taken from you to be repaired and cleaned. While you await their return, Captain Duval hands you a pouch of gold for your journey. To find how much gold is in the pouch, pick a number from the random number table. Now add 10 to the number you have picked. The total equals the number of gold crowns inside the pouch, and you may now enter it into the number of gold crowns section of your action chart. So we get to roll and add 10. Vol is not a Flash villain. 5. Needs more gravitas. More gravitas on the king's words. Fair. That's fair. All right. 15. So we get to add 15 to the 20 we have, so we'll have 35. That will come in handy. Because it gets expensive going across. All right. On a large table in the center of the armory, a number of items have been laid out for your choice. You may take any 2 of the following: sword, short sword, 2 meals, chainmail waistcoat, mace, healing potion, quarterstaff, spear, and shield. Oh, shield and broadsword. So we already have weapons, and we don't have a weapon specialization. So don't recommend the weapons. We have a meal. And there's always ways to get more meals as you go. What I will say is rare to find. Actually, I think we already have a chainmail waistcoat, if I remember correctly. No, we do not. I guess that was on a different adventure. Anyway, chainmail waistcoat is difficult to find. That's a special item, and it'll add 4 endurance to our total, so it'll bring our endurance points up to 28. The other rare item that you rarely see outside of, like, say, the beginning of the book is the shield. And this will add 2 to our combat skill. So that'll bring our combat skill, if we do have to fight, up to 18. So those are my 2 recommendations. But what do y'all want to do? That's fine. So after we get the gold coins, we got 15 gold coins because I just rolled for it. So we now have a total of 35. And then on the table, we got to choose 2 items from this list, basically. We have the sword, a short sword, 2 meals, the chainmail waistcoat, a mace, healing potion, quarterstaff, spear. Hi, Zaboro. Yeah, that's all right. And the shield. Oh, wait, shield and broadsword. So it lists almost every type of weapon, basically in case we didn't have a weapon, we lost a weapon, or we happen to roll for a specialization. Because remember, that's one of the Kai disciplines we can have. Since we have 2 weapons, if those 2 don't show up much, best to grab now. Exactly, so that was my thought. The chainmail waistcoat and the shield are pretty rare from my memory of playing the books. And since they're special items, they don't take up a slot in your backpack. And remember, you're only allowed up to 8 slots in your backpack. We already have a meal in the backpack, so that's good. So yeah, I was thinking the chainmail waistcoat and the shield. So artist says concur. Slow Zipporo, do y'all also concur? Concur? Okay. Okay, so let me go ahead. Under special. Hopefully I don't fall off the boat again like I did last time. Because that's something that can happen during this adventure. And if so, you have to take off any armor you're wearing. Otherwise you drown. Okay. Increase the combat skill to 18. And the endurance points to 28. That's alright. That's cool. That works. I know how that goes. Alright, so that sets us up with equipment. Know the rules for combat. Alright. So let's go ahead and start at the beginning here. I'm drawing everyone knows you swim better naked. Exactly. Alright, and we begin. Captain Duval and his guards escort you to the Citadel Gate, where a small covered wagon awaits you. As soon as you clamber in, the gates are thrown open, and you are hurried away through the crowded streets of Homeguard. After a short but uncomfortable journey, the wagon stops and the driver pulls open the canvas flap. This is the quay, my lord. There is your ship, the Green Scepter. As he speaks, the driver points across the quay to a sleek trade caravel anchored near to the harbor wall. The first mate's name is Ronan. You will find him waiting for you across the square at the Good Cheer Inn. Then the driver bids you farewell and quickly disappears into the teeming crowd. You reach the inn and find the front doors locked, and the windows shuttered barred. You are trying to decide what to do next when a hand grabs your arm and you are pulled into the darkness. If you wish to draw your weapon and attack your unknown assailant, turn to 273. If you wish to try and pull free of his grasp, turn to 160. So I know we want to avoid fighting. So do y'all want to pull or attack? Basically, if you pull free, you get a chance to find out, hey, what you doing? Why you doing that? Well, you got plans, so don't say that. No magic missile. Yeah, I think we gotta be part of the Mages Guild for that. They kind of have us starting out early with the decisions. So this is more of a shot in the dark, I guess. option again. Attack or talk. Basically, essentially attack or talk. You can either just like, someone pulls your arms, you just immediately swing at them, or you just pull free and find out who it is. $160. Okay. Zipporah, do y'all have an opinion? Otherwise, I'm going to go to 160. Okay. 160 it is. All right. Forgive me, my lord. I did not mean to startle you. The man seems nervous, and the open hand that is extended towards you is shaking quite visibly. With some caution, you accept the gesture of friendship and sit with the man at a tavern table. The place is deserted, save for a couple of mice gnawing at large chunks of cheese. Captain Kelman has instructed me to take you to the Green Scepter, but only if I am sure that you are the Kai Lord they call Lone Wolf. Can you prove your identity? You decide you must show your mastery of one of your Kai disciplines. So we can either use the Kai discipline of healing, Mind Blast, which we do not have, Weapon Skill, we do not have, Animal Kinship, we do have, or Mind Over Matter, we do not have. So we have the options of healing or animal kinship. If you do not possess any of the above Kai skills or do not wish to demonstrate your skill, turn to 348. So it's either hashtag healing, hashtag animal, or hashtag none. So 203. So that's going to be animal kinship. So artist is towards animal kinship. Sapporo, you want healing. So now we're kind of deadlocked. Do we have another option or another vote? Slow animal. Okay, so 2 votes for animal kinship. So let's go ahead and turn to 203. Feeling hungry, you say, peering at the 2 busy house mice in the far corner? Perhaps you would care for some cheese. Using your Kai discipline, you order the 2 mice to bring the cheese to you. The sailor looks on in amazement as the 2 furry creatures deposit the cheese at your feet and then scurry away. Turn to 268. You are indeed a Kai Lord, says the sailor, but the astonishment on his face quickly changes to an unpleasant sneer. Or should I say you were? As he speaks, a door crashes open behind you, and you turn to see 3 harbor thugs advancing towards you. Each is armed with a scimitar, and you have no choice but to fight all 3 as one enemy. Combat skill 16, endurance 25. You may evade after 2 rounds of combat by running through the side door. Turn to 125. If you win the combat, turn to 333. So this is what we see. What I will say is that right out the gate, our combat skill is 2 higher. Been here before. Yep. Starting off quick. I don't think I know that word. Form of a rhino. There we go. Form of a rhino. Go. All right. Combat skill 16's endurance 25. That's not too bad. We can take those guys on pretty easily. Let's set up combat chart. We have to go for at least 2 rounds, though. So we're at 18. They're at 16 and have 25 total endurance. So we get a +2 combat ratio on them. So we're in a good place. All right. And we got Triumphant Reckoning to hold our place. Let's go to the combat chart. There we go. So +2. So that's our range. So let's go. Ooh, starting off bad. They lose 4, we lose 5. But hey, we have healing, so that's good. So we're down to 23. They are down to 21, so we're still in a better place. Five, that's looking a lot better. All right, so 5, they lose 8, we lose 2. I like those odds. So that should put them at 13. And us down to 21. Shoot, we make a 0 on this roll, and they're dead. Ugh, said we got a 3. So they lose 6, we lose 3. So we are down to 18. See, if they lose 6, 3, 1, 2, 3, they are down to 7. So we're still in a really good place. Oof, a 2. All right, they lose 5, we lose 4. So they're down to 2. We are down to 14. It's not bad. Pretty much next roll they die, period. No matter how bad it is. 0! Where was that 0 earlier when we needed that? At least we didn't take any points of damage, though. And they are down to -12. A little bit overkill. But hey, we won. Okay. 333, because we won. The sailor who claimed to be the first mate Ronan seems to have escaped during the fight. You quickly search the bodies for the harbor thugs, but find nothing of value. However, you do notice that each of them has a tattoo of a serpent on their left wrist. Whoever sent them to kill you must have already known of the importance of your quest. You leave the tavern by the side door and discover the dead body of a sailor lying beneath some stairs. Inside the collar of the blood-stained jacket is a tag bearing the name Ronan. This must be the real Ronan. He has been murdered. You cover the body and turn towards the quay where the green scepter is anchored, at about 300 yards from the harbor wall. If you wish to use one of the small boats or corsels that are roped to the quayside, turn to 300. If you wish to hunt down the imposter who pretended to be Ronan, turn to 67. So what do y'all want to do? Y'all want to hunt him down or just go ahead and go to the boat? kind of in and out, trying to get a jump start tomorrow. So, hey, no, that is no problem. I know how that goes. Listening to people while you work is something I used to do a lot. Or she used to do. I still do it. Alright, so artists, you just want to take off? So you'd be like, meh, forget them. So, Poro, you have a say on any of it? Oh, and because of that, we get a point back. That's the thing with healing. You got to remember to add that endurance points back every single time you turn a page and it's not a combat. Something's happening with work and I'm caught up in it. That's okay. Workaholic house. Hey, I mean, considering we want to be in the entertainment industry, Dauntless and I both do, and our house is pretty much, either we're either streaming or we're working on videos, or in the case of the garage, cleaning the space in which I do work. This is kind of a workaholic house too, so I get that. So let's go ahead and just go ahead and leave, take one of the boats. Right on. Turn up the volume on this a little bit. You hear ding. Yeah, go ahead. Send a link out. Turn it into 300. As you paddle towards the sleek trade caravel, you notice to your surprise that the boarding ladder is being pulled up. A mean-looking sailor leans over the gunwale and curses at you. He seems to think that you are a refugee trying to stow away on board. But when you shout that you are Lone Wolf, and you were ambushed by an impostor at the tavern, the ladder is soon lowered again. As you climb over the side of the ship, you are met by a tall man in a gold-braided uniform. His face is almost totally covered by a shock of bright red hair and a bright red beard. "Haul anchor," he booms, and the crew springs into action as if their very lives depended on it. The captain ushers you below to his cabin, where he pours you 2 glasses of Walno, a strong spirit. His face shows concern as you tell him what happened. There is evil treachery at work, and the enemy already have plans afoot to thwart your quest. He begins when you've told your tale. It seems that you have lost the element of surprise, and I have lost a courageous first mate. Let us only hope that the voyage of the Durner be swift and safe. You leave him to go up on deck, just in time to see the outline of Home Guard on the horizon. With mixed feelings of pride and apprehension, you descend the stairway to your cabin as the last spire of the capital disappears from view. Ooh, now at this point, it's choose a number, or roll a random number in our case. All right, random number. Let's see what happens here, because it's like this book, from what I remember, from what I played it. There's a lot more randomization to this, as figuring out what happens. But see, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. So this is just like locked up into 2 points per. Six. Okay, so this is different than I rolled last time. 22. So we're already starting off a little different. I like that. Okay. So 22, here we go. In the morning you are awoken by the cry of the deck watchman. Wreckage off the starboard bow! Quickly dressing, you climb up on the deck and join the captain at the rail. Roll a random number. Two. So that's going to be 119. Okay. Random number. That's what we're doing. One. All right, 0 through 4. Let's see if that's good or bad. 119. Shattered beams, pieces of planking, and torn sails litter the white-flecked waves. It is all that remains of a merchant ship. But then suddenly you notice a body clinging to a broken hatch cover. A rope ladder is quickly lowered and the poor man is brought aboard. Pirates is all he says before collapsing to the deck. This man is wrapped in a large blanket and taken below. He has suffered many wounds and is close to death. This crime bears the mark of Lakuri pirates, the captain confides in you, but it is unusual to run across them in these waters. They must be in search of a rich cargo to sail so far from the tropical waters. As the ship resumes its course for Durner, you cannot help but wonder if that rich cargo is you. He's dead, Jim. Turn to 240. Oh, that's right. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, we get to add 3 hit points. See, I gotta remember to keep up with that. So, 240. All right. There we go. All right, 240. After 3 uneventful days at sea, you find shipward life dreary. If you have the high discipline of healing, any endurance points that you may have lost on your adventure so far are restored. Okay, good. So we can just fully restore them. That'll be useful. Let's change that to 24. This will bring your endurance point score back to your original one. Oh, sorry, not 24. It's 28 because of the other thing. My bad. I almost forgot about that. If you do not possess the skill, restore half of any points you may have lost in combat. On the afternoon of the 4th day, you are talking with an injured sailor upon the deck when you smell smoke seeping from the hold. If you wish to enter the hold, turn to 29. If you wish to shout fire, turn to 236. If you wish to warn the captain, turn to 101. All right. Do we wish to enter, yell, or tell the captain? What are y'all thinking you want to do? I can hear you scratching, Andy. So you're thinking 236, so... You shout fire, okay. I'll just give it a few more seconds, just in case someone else wants to vote in. Otherwise, we'll turn to 236. Alright. I'm going to go ahead and turn. Shouting fire it is. Suddenly, panic strikes. The ship is thrown into a frenzy of activity as sailors grab buckets and blankets from which to fight the fire. Flames are roaring through the hatch cover, and it takes over an hour to contain the blaze. The damage to the ship is great. The entire store of food and fresh water has been destroyed, and the midsection of the ship badly weakened. The captain appears from out of the smoking hold and approaches you, his face black with soot. He is carrying something in a bundle under his arm. We must talk in private, my lord, he says quietly. Without replying, you turn and follow him into his cabin. Turn to 222. Nice fire! Work stuff figured out, I'm back. Very cool. Alright, here's where we are. After taking care to close the door, the captain opens the mysterious bundle and tips the contents on his cabin table. A large charred earthenware jug and several blackened rags drop in a heap. They give off a strange oily smell. This was no accidental fire, he says solemnly. This was an act of sabotage. The forward hold is a food store, yet I find this oiled jug and soaked rags upon the floor. Someone on this ship is prepared to risk his life to stop us reaching Durner. You both stare at the burnt rags, as if they hold the answer to your questions. Suddenly a cry from up on deck breaks the silence. Ship ahoy! Ship off the port bow! Grabbing his sword and telescope, the captain disappears through the door and up the ladder to the deck above. If you wish to follow him, turn to 175. If you'd rather make a quick search of his cabin, turn to 315. Yep. Sabotage it is. Now, I remember last time I played the game, we stayed down below. We found a container. All that was in it was a note saying that, basically, he needed to get me to the right place. So he's a good guy. We verified that he's a good guy. But we had Mind Over Matter to unlock it. And if we didn't have Mind Over Matter, it would automatically kill us. Noise and shouting, woo! So yeah, follow him straight on up. So yeah, it wasn't really a lot of effort, or there wasn't a lot of results for staying down and looking around the cabin last time. So Strauss is for just leaving on up. What do y'all think? Sloan Zapporo, you wanna Beastie Boys? Sabotage! Yeah, I get you. Y'all wanna head on up, or what's up? I see Jamie is lurking. Alrighty. Head on up. It seems our bird has flown, says the captain, pointing to a longboat moving swiftly towards another ship on the horizon. She flies no flag, and her hull is of a strange shape. I've ne'er seen this before. I've ne'er before seen the like. You watch as the longboat reaches the mysterious ship. As if by magic, a sea fog appears from nowhere and engulfs the vessel. Moments later, both the ship and the fog have disappeared. Pick a number from the random number table. Alright. Oof, 2. So, first half. Turn to 53. This dice has been rolling pretty slow. You hear whisperings among the crew, and catch words ghost ship and cursed voyage, but the whispering stops when the captain's voice calls for all hands on deck. A silence descends on the Green Scepter as Captain Kelman addresses the crew in a loud voice. Men, we are 3 days' sail from Port Bax, but with a strong wind and a stout heart we'll drop anchor and feast there in 2. The fire has claimed many of our provisions, and rations are hereby cut to 1 meal a day. A guard shall be placed upon the fresh water cask, but we are strong. We shall endure. Any man found thieving will receive 100 lashes. That is all. The crew seem unhappy as the captain's decision. at the captain's decision, but none of them dares to challenge his authority. Later that afternoon, you are invited by both the crew and the captain to take your evening meal with them. If you wish to eat with the captain, turn to 321. If you wish to eat with the crew, turn to 154. So we're going to eat with the crew or the captain. Now, we'll probably get a better meal with the captain, but we'll probably, if I had to guess, help with morale if we eat with the crew. Especially since they seem unhappy with the captain's decision. The more the merrier. Right on. I'm going to take that to mean crew, Zapporo. So, well, the crew will have more to say. True. Definitely. So yeah, let's go eat with the crew, 154. Whew, okay. The crew's quarters are cramped and stifling, but despite a lack of space and poor evening meal, so poor in fact that you lose 2 endurance points, the men are pleased by their invitation was accepted. You are treated as an honored guest. After supper, they invite you to play portholes with them and wager a little gold on the fall of the dice. If you wish to try your luck, turn to 308. If you would prefer to decline the offer, bid them good night and return to your cabin, turn to 197. Okay, so are we going to gamble or are we going to go to bed? And we lost 2 hit points, but we'll gain those back pretty fast because we have healing. Alright, y'all want to gamble? Alright. Gambling it is. 308. A sailor called Sproggs sits beside you and explains the rules of the game Portholes. First, he shows you 2 diamond-shaped dice made of red glass. Each dice has 10 sides, and they are numbered 0 through 9. Each player rolls both dice and adds the number together. 0 equals 0. If anyone throws 2 zeros, they shout portholes and automatically win. Okay. So we'll use 2d10s for that. Because that's what it is. It's a 2d10 game. Each player stakes 3 gold crown per throw. There are 2 other players in the game, and they all place their stake money into a hat before the dice are rolled. Pick 2 numbers from a random number table for each of the other 2 players. Note these scores down. Now pick 2 numbers from the random number table for yourself. If your total is higher than the other players, you win 6 gold crowns. If either of the other players beat your score, you lose 3 gold crowns. You may leave the game at any time, but you must stop playing if you lose all your crowns. Bad luck. When you finally decide to leave, you may return to your cabin by turning to 197. So, even though it says there's 2 other players, oh, so the idea is we win 6, we don't lose 3. So we win 9 technically, but we add 6 to our total. So we have to roll 2 of these for them, and then now pick 2 numbers from random for yourself. Okay, pick 2 numbers for each of the 2 players. So we have to roll these a total of 3 times. So let's do it at least once. So 9 and 4, so that makes 13 for the first guy. 9 and 0 for the second guy, so 9. So 13 and 9 are theirs. Hold on. Pick 2 numbers Now pick two numbers. If your total is higher than the other players, you win. Okay, so we either have to get above 13 or roll double zeros. That's how this works. And we got 4, so we lost. So we lose 3 gold. So we go down to 32. Do y'all want to go again, or you want to leave it be? Let's see. Let's get the blue going there. Keep it rolling? Okay. Slow and Sapporo, y'all want to keep gambling too? Rollin', rollin', rollin'. Keep those dice a rollin'. Raw. Alright, we'll keep it rolling then. Okay, so first guy gets 8. Second guy gets 5. So we only have to beat 8 this time. Oops. I lost one of the die. Crud. Hold on. All right. There we go. Okay, found it. And so that's 14. We win. So we get 6. So now we have 38. So we started off with 35, lost 3, gained back 6. So we are in total ahead. Y'all want to go again or head to bed? One more time. A little bit of Daft Punk. Alright. Let's try it. First guy gets 10. The double 5s. Second guy gets 9. Alright. So we gotta beat 10. Oof. That is a 7. And we lose 3. So we are back to exactly where we were before, 35. So, yeah. Lose twice, won once. So we are exactly back where we started. So what do y'all want to do? Yep, even Steven. Old man sleep. Yep, I am an old man. I sleep way too much. So... Oh, but Zipporah wants to keep rolling. So we are split down the middle. So it's up to slow. We... I don't know how to interpret that. Insomnia. Yeah, it's definitely a callback joke. It's what Dauntless says to me all the time. She has no sense of direction. Yar. Okay. Smart. Okay. All right, we'll go one more time. First guy gets... Ooh, we better get double zeros, because that is 14. Second guy gets... Ooh. 13. Wait, what was the first guy? Was it also 13? That's why I don't usually take risks. Exactly. No, the first guy was 14. Look what I've done. Alright, so I think we have to beat 14. Yeah, okay. Sorry, I just totally brain blinked. Oh, we got 8. So we lost. It's like, dink, then we'd win. So we're down to 32. So do we want to try to get our earnings back, or we want to cut our losses and head to bed? Oh, did you just see what that was? I know I picked it up, but that was double zeros. Jeez. But, alright. So, artist wants to roll again. So, Zipporah, slow, y'all want to go with that again? Oh, we broke it? No, we're at 32. We started off at 35. We went to 32, 38, to 35, to 32. So we've stayed in that range the whole time. Like 1. So we've lost 3 times, won once. Okay, roll again. First guy was 7. Second guy is 13. We gotta beat 13. 5. I keep rolling slow for us. Like, I'm rolling high for them somehow. It's the same dice. So now we're at 29. So what do we want to do? Do not like my dice, right? It's not like they can't roll high. 6-5. 3-10. So that's 3-0. 9-4. 2-3. 9-7. 0-2. So yeah, these are pretty. Yeah, these are all pretty well balanced. 3-0. 3-6. 6-8. So I don't know. What do y'all want to do? Oh, these are easier to read? Yeah. I just like using these. I know they're kind of harder to read, but like what the funny thing is when the light hits them, it shows up real nice. But I like these because of how heavy they are. Fall into the trap to try to get back what you lost. So if we get back what we lost, we'll be right back to even. If we win this time. Don't chase your losses. So it seems to be split. Strauss, what do you want to do? Because Zapporo's saying roll, Slow's saying don't roll. Well, best to go stop and allow the crew to feel good. Okay, so 2 for stopping, 1 for rolling again, so we're going to stop. Okay, on with the story. So now we turn to 197. Don't go chasing waterfalls. Please stick to the rivers and the lakes that you're used to. Work now, forever. Why I don't gamble in real life. It'd be a disaster, right? Very true. So 197. Here we are. As dawn breaks, a fierce storm rises, and you are awoken by the violent rocking of the ship. The floor of your cabin is awash, and the shout of crew can be heard above the howling wind. You quickly dress, gather your equipment, and make your way to the deck. You are soon joined by the captain, who takes hold of your arm and orders you to return to your cabin. Suddenly, as you start to go down, there is a thunderous crack, and high in the rigging, part of the mast snaps. You look up to see the shattered pole falling towards you. So this didn't go well for me last time. I gamble in Yu-Gi-Oh! Strauss has to cover for me. Okay. Sloshy. So, last time I fell off the ship and lost my armor. So, let's see what happens this time. Zero! Okay. 1 to 4, 5 to 9, if the number is 0. I don't like that. That sounds like we're gonna die. 247. Yep. That's why it was only one choice. You are mesmerized by the falling mast and feel totally powerless to escape. You are crushed beneath the enormous weight of splintering timbers. The last thing you remember are the horrified faces of Captain Kelman and his crew staring down at you. Your life and your mission come to a tragic end here. That was out of my hands. That's the roll of the dice. All right, different dice. All right. D10, 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 D10. And there's that one. Where's the other one? There it is. They be there in 18 hours, right? I got plenty. We're gonna choose some new ones. Could stream it. All right. That one. All right, what else we got? Okay, these are stone dice. Sounds like a documentary, right? And I got more elsewhere. Let's start with this. What do y'all want? We got this little beauty. This one has some shine to it. Some pearlescence. So does this. This has some pearlescence to it too, but it's like blue and black. Got the metal dice here. Dark metal dice, really hard to see, but very kind of a, there it is, you can kind of see that dark green. Then we have 3. They're smaller, but that's because they're made of stone. We have hematite, adventurite, and this is not lapis, it's a other type of blue-green stone, I forget what it's called. Oops, sorry. Try some, made dice and ship them to you. Map looks like the shore here. Right on. Oh, that'd be nice. That's up to y'all. I'm not gonna say no. You can try to make some. Dude, that would be so awesome. It would. That would be awesome. But what do y'all want? Let's say we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. For right now, what do y'all want to use next? I'll leave it in your hands. Since my other dice misbehaved. Lucky number 7. So slow is saying 7 is this one. See, 7 is that grayish one. Sapporo wants 2. free, my lord. Can you make them weighted? Well, that's tricky because sometimes 0 is terrible in the game, and sometimes 0 is epic. If I can get you perlites? I don't know that. So Straw's saying this one. So we're down to these 3. Special kind of stone that's only found here. Oh, rocks that glow? Okay, so are they bioluminescent kind of glow, or are they more UV glow, like UV reactive? Oops. Middle doesn't go in here. Oh, UV, right on. I actually have I've got a big old bulb over there that does UV, because I have like a wall of UV reactive stuff. So like if we ever do D&D night, I'll have a camera facing these people over here, and you'd see the UV stuff behind them. But I also have this. Forgot I had this charging today. I have a flashlight here that does several different settings. How about we use all 3 in concession? All right, that's fair. So I've got daylight. Then I have indoor colored. I've got green, blue, red, and UV. So if I want to shine things to be UV, I can. You go on the beach and find them with a UV flashlight. That's cool. Perlites, a glowing discovery. Oh, those are really cool looking. Premium spheres. Jeez, those look awesome. Premium stones. Like, that looks like some sort of, like, glowing fire from within. Roxanne. Dice out of them would sounds like it would be epic. Yeah, but you gotta get someone who can, like, carve. You have to get someone who can stone carve and then, like, paint just inside the numbers. Oh, did you pass out? Apparently Dauntless has been passed out over there this whole time. I didn't know. Copper World might sell them. No, I don't think I'm familiar with that. Don't know how to find them either. I guess caveman used to do it. Put dice on Dauntless. Hashtag how many dice. Evolved carving rock is. I don't either. I need a new hobby. Okay. So here's the question. Since death was out of our hands, do we want to start at the beginning here or go back to the very beginning and do a full rerun? That I leave up to y'all. I like this character, but I don't like cheating. Well, I mean, so it's like it would be like an autosave. So he saved at that last setting. Especially since it was out of our hand, like it wasn't as a result of dumb decisions, it was literally a bad roll of the dice. Yeah. Rule number 1 does say that. But that's why I also leave it to the audience, because at the same time, if y'all aren't having fun, then what's the point of the rules in that sense? Like, if you find it just absolutely like, oh, I don't want to do it again, then why am I streaming this? Like, if I was doing it just for me, yeah, I'd start back at the beginning. But at the end of the day, this is an us experience. Odds we start completely over. I guess the question asked is what we would do differently if we went all the way back. See, that's the question. Because, like, if we would do all the same things, especially since there wasn't really much in the way of a randomized roll in the first one so much. Like, what we could do is we could go back to the beginning, like as somewhere, and just do speed run. In the sense of, I skip all the reading to you of stuff that we've done before, but I stop for things like any fights that we may have, or any sort of variations, randomization. That would be up to y'all. Guess at that point we should autosave. Yeah. Like, if we had a whole bunch of new members that didn't play the first book, I mean, maybe then it might be worth it. You know, expose them to, oh, okay, here's the first book again. But since it's mostly all the same folk. Minus Strauss, I guess. Hashtag load last save. Okay. Yeah, it's weird is that there's 7 viewers. Who else is here? Jamie herself. Tightwads. So I know Jamie herself is probably lurking because she's probably with Polly, if Polly's still streaming. Yeah, Polly's still streaming. So she's just trying to leave me a view, keep my views up. Because there are 4 particular There are 4 particular requirements to hitting affiliate. Okay, so Zipporah wants load save. So, I mean, that's pretty much everyone's been involved, so back to load save. So the 4 things that we need to hit affiliate are going to be the 50 viewers, an average of 3 viewers for all the hours of those 30 days, for at least, I think, 8 hours? 8 or 12 hours during the 30-day period, and to stream a minimum of 7 days during that 30-day period. So, like, if I have a low day where I only have 1 or 2 viewers, having 4 or 5 another day will help my ratio. So, being a lurker does help. Yeah, it's like this thing where we don't want people to automatically have it. So, we want to make sure that you at least have enough people watching that you will be able to make money off of it, possibly. I guess they don't want lurkers to be able to start making, or one of my lurkers, bots, to make money off of this. So, okay. Let me clear things off. I'm gonna guess we're gonna keep healing. Our belt pouch goes back to... Oh, we get to re-roll for the belt pouch because we had 20 in the save. I mean, I guess we want to keep the chainmail waistcoat and shield. But when we were getting our equipment, we rolled a random number for how much gold he gave us. So let's start off with... Just gonna take them in a line. So I'm going to have this line. I'm just going to go like pink, 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 like that. So start with this one. Ooh, that's really light. 2. We get 12 gold to start. Yes, better than 0. So we now have a total of 32. We have the equipment. All right. And we're back to the beginning. Yeah, that dice was really light. Like, I got used to the super heavy metal dice, and then going that, I was like, oh, that's really light. All right, here we go. What do you mean, what happened? Did something happen? All right. I think we're good to go. Captain Duval and his guards escort you to the Citadel Gate, where a small covered wagon awaits you. As soon as you clamber in, the gates are thrown open, you are hurried along the crowded streets of Homeguard. After a short but uncomfortable journey, the wagon stops and the driver pulls open the canvas flap. This is the quay, my lord. There is the ship, the Green Scepter. As he speaks, the driver points across the quay to a sleek trade caravel anchored near to the harbor wall. The first mate's name is Ronan. You will find him waiting for you across the square at the Good Cheer Inn. Then the driver bids you farewell and quickly disappears into the teeming crowd. You reach the inn to find the front doors locked and the window shutters barred. You are trying to decide what to do next when a hand grabs your arm and you are pulled into the darkness. Oh, I froze for a second? Oh, I wasn't frozen. I was just sitting really still. I think I was reading something. I think I was trying to catch up on reading. Yeah, see? I was doing it again because I was watching. So I sat very still. So, yeah, me do, but then I go and I'm just reading. So yeah, it looked like I was frozen, I think, but I was just sitting very still, watching in this case, watching the clip that you sent. So me being animated might actually help things. Hi ho, Kermit the Frog here. That's alright. So now we know that this assailant is a bad guy, technically. But do we want to go through the process and then fight, or do we want to try and attack this dude? Yes, don't talk to the hand, talk with the hand. I'm gonna get some more liquid here real fast. If y'all want to decide if we're gonna attack this dude out the gate or not. So it seems y'all are heading towards wanting to just attack this guy. Is that the idea? Because it seems either way we're not going to be able to avoid a fight. Bum rush. Alright. Seems to be the overall consensus. Let's go ahead and do that. Yep. There you go. Oh. Gosh darn it. You're about to strike when your assailant shouts, "I am Ronan, my lord. I mean you no harm." You manage to divert your blow at the last moment and your weapon smashes in the back of a wooden chair. The bead of sweat that had broken out on the sailor's face appears to confirm that he speaks the truth. Lower your weapon and turn to 160. Well, shoot. Forgive me, my lord, I did not mean to startle you. The man seems nervous, and the open hand that is extended towards you is shaking quite visibly. With some caution, you accept his gesture of friendship, and sit with the man at the tavern table. The place is deserted, save for a couple of mice gnawing at the large chunk of cheese. Captain Kelvin has instructed me to take you to the Green Scepter, but only if I am sure that you are the Kai Lord they call Lone Wolf. Can you prove your identity? You decide you must show your mastery of one of your Kai disciplines. So we can either do healing, animal kinship, or refuse. What do y'all think? Well, it says if you do not wish to demonstrate your skill, turn to 348. That would be very different from any of the other ways. All right. I don't think I ever refused any of the times that I played. So yeah, y'all are thinking to refuse? Seems curious. I hope they don't just try to gut me for it. Alright. Everyone's, yeah. 348. Now I'm curious. Oh, it ends up in the same thing. The sailor's face quickly changes from a smile to a sneer at your reply. He quickly moves away from the table. Perhaps neither you nor I are all we claim to be. No matter. You will not live long enough to discover who I really am. You hear a door crash open behind you. Spinning round, you see 3 harbor thugs moving towards you. Each is armed with a scimitar, and you must fight them as one enemy. So, same result. Alright. Hopefully we roll better this time. So now we're on this one. Roll a 1. Ugh. Same as last time. So 1 minute we get 5 damage, so we're down to 23. There we go. Hadouken! And they go down, let's see. We get a +2 for this. 18. We're at 16. And we go down to 20. Wait. They lost 5 damage. So they're down to 21. Okay. Okay. So let's roll the next one. 6. 6 is pretty good. That's going to be, they lose 9 damage, we lose 2. Kind of doesn't matter how far we go down because we know we'll be good. So it should be down to 12. Alright. Back to the first one. 6 again. So lose another 9. They're down to 3 hit points. And we are down to 20. We're doing better than we did last time, so that's good. One. Terrible, but we still win. So we go down to 15. And they're at -1. Alright, we win. Turn to 333. There we go. And the sailor who claimed to be the first mate Ronan seems to have escaped during the fight. You quickly search the body of the harbor thugs, but find nothing of value. However, you did notice that each of them has a tattoo of a serpent on their left wrist. Whoever sent them to kill you must have already known of the importance of your quest. You leave the tavern by the side door and discover the dead body of a sailor lying beneath some stairs. Inside the collar, his blood-stained jacket, is a tag bearing the name Ronan. He must be the real Ronan. He must have been murdered, or has been murdered. You cover the body and return towards the quay, where the green scepter is anchored about 300 yards from the harbor wall. Now, do we wish to go ahead and leave, or try to hunt down the imposter? We do have tracking. There is a possibility, if it actually lets us use it. Okay. Strauss wants to hunt. Sounds like an idea. Let's see if we can track him down. 67. Wow, we have the skills. Yep. You quickly deduce that the imposter must have escaped by the main entrance to the tavern, and if he is still in the harbor area, he must be in or around the main square. You search the buildings and alleyways around the square, but there is no sign of him at all. Rather than waste more time in a fruitless search, you return to the quayside and untie the small corsel from its mooring. As you row towards the green scepter, you begin to feel uneasy that so early in your mission, your enemies seem to have found you. Turn to 300. Hi, Dream. How you doing? We are heading out to sea. Turn to 300. So apparently it doesn't do any good to go looking for him. If I had to guess, the only way to actually search for him is if we abandon the fight. You know, the whole if you can leave after 2 turns thing. It's been a long day. I finished bleach mopping the other half of the garage and started to add weather stripping to the garage door to decrease the amount of humidity that can get into the garage. Same here. Right on. So yeah, we are, let's see, let's get that sea noise going. There we go. Wait. Okay, there it is. As you paddle towards the sleek trade caravel, you notice to your surprise that the boarding ladder is being pulled up. A mean-looking sailor leans over the gunwale and curses at you. He seems to think that you are a refugee trying to stow away on board. But when you shout that you are Lone Wolf and you were ambushed by an imposter at the tavern, the ladder is soon lowered again. As you climb over the side of the ship, you are met by a tall man in a gold-braided uniform. His face is almost totally covered by a shock of bright red hair and bright red beard. Going to lurk for a bit and watch you work your magic? Thanks, Dream. All anchor, he booms. The crew spring into action, as if their very lives depend on it. The captain ushers you below his cabin, where he pours you 2 glasses of Walno. a strong spirit. His face shows concern as you tell him what happened. There is evil treachery at work, and the enemy already has plans afoot to thwart your quest. He begins when you've told your tale. It seems that you have lost the element of surprise, and I have lost a courageous first mate. Let us only hope that the voyage to Durner be swift and safe. You leave him to go up on deck, just in time to see the outline of Home Guard on the horizon. With mixed feelings of pride and apprehension, you descend the stairway to your cabin, as the last spire of capital disappears from view. Pick a random number. Zipporah, I'm gonna hit the hay. Today was draining beyond belief. You know what? I know that one. Don't blame you at all. You have a good night, Zipporah. I'll see you in 1, 2, 3 weeks. Yeah, because I'm going gone for 2, so I'll see you on the 3rd. 3rd week. So, random number. Let's see what we got. 5. 81. So next one's this. Enjoy your time off. We will try. It's gonna be a drive up to North Carolina and a drive back home. You awake the following morning to the cries of the lookout from high in the crow's nest above. Longboat adrift off the port stern. Oh, that's right. I have to remember to heal up. There's 3 points. You climb up on the deck and meet the captain, bracing yourself against the fresh breeze. Less than 50 yards off the port's stern, a damaged longboat bobs up and down in the heavy sea. On board are 3 men huddled together against the wind. Pick a random number. Alright, so let's roll this one this time. So that's a 1. Oh, I grabbed the wrong one, didn't I? I grabbed the 10s instead of the 1s. That one confuses me, unless I'm actually doing percentile dice. There we go. That's the one I meant to grab. But I rolled a 1, right? Is that what I rolled? Right, I can't remember. Same thing, I know, it's just, it throws my eyes off. What did I roll? No, I don't remember. Should I just roll again? It was a 1? Okay, alright. It was a 1. So, 260. With the left. The captain orders the ship to go alongside and pick up the 3 men. They are fishermen from the Summerland port of Tyso. Oh, that's just north of Summerland there. So we're probably right about... Yeah, we're probably right around there. Somewhere in the home Gulf anyway. No, let's give us a little more distance. Let's say we're right around there. Okay. Whoa? What's the woe for? So you give them food and warm clothing, and they can barely hold back their tears of gratitude. As you prepare to continue your journey to Durner, one of them offers you a fine sword as a token of his thanks. If you wish to accept this gift, remember to mark it on your action chart. Oh, the cool... Yeah, so that's the map from... It's a colored version of this. Durner. Not Durner. That's what you say. Duriner? Well, yeah, Duriner. Durinor? Now I don't know how to say it. Durinor. Durinor? That may be my accent coming through. My Texan accent coming through. Durner. 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 The token holder. You want to accept the sword? Because right now we have the axe and the warhammer. So if we accept the sword, we have to trade out an axe or the warhammer. The "you are here" work. Oh, yeah. Because if you notice the lone wolf logo above, that's the wolf logo there. So I just cut that out of the logo and use that since that's lone wolf. So that's our little symbol. So I just made a PNG so that it had a transparent background. So do we want to trade the sword out for one of our other weapons, or what's up? Thank you. Yeah, so the trick is that when it comes to weapons, we're only given 2 weapon slots. So we can't hold weapons as equipment. We can only hold them as weapons. So whenever we have weapons, we have to inventory manage. So special items have their own list. Equipment has their own list. Belt pouches can only hold up to 50 gold. And weapons we can only have up to 2. Alright, we're going to turn to 240. Okay. After 3 uneventful days at sea, you find shipboard life rather dreary. If you have the kind discipline of healing, any endurance points you may have lost in your adventure so far are restored. This will bring your endurance points score back to the original one. So let's go ahead and fix that. Back up to 28. Do what? Yes. After you fix dinner, you think you can take Andy and Oliver out? Yeah, it's fine afterwards. I want more food, but I don't know what I want. Yeah. Probably like scramble through our leftovers. Alright. On the afternoon of the 4th day, you are talking with an injured sailor up on deck when you smell smoke seeping from the hold. So I'm going to guess if we enter the hold, we will be on fire. We will probably die. Do we shout fire, or do we just want to warn the captain? Okay, but they are paying. So, Strauss is for fire. because that seemed to work well. I mean, damage is already done. Nothing we're gonna do is gonna save that. This boat is on fire! No, apparently not. I was it was kind of weird too, but maybe. But I would think that he would have already left. Otherwise, he might be caught in the fire. So what do y'all think? So far, we got one vote for fire. To yell fire. What? No, we're still sneaky. Because it's the same setup. Screams fire, shout. Okay. Yelling fire, it is 236. No smoking. A little bit louder now. A little bit louder now. A little bit louder now. Suddenly panic strikes. The ship is thrown into frenzy of activity as sailors grab buckets and blankets with which to fight the fire. Flames are roaring through the hatch cover, and it takes over an hour to contain the blaze. The damage to the ship is great. The entire store of food and fresh water have been destroyed, and the midsection of the ship is badly weakened. The captain appears out of the smoking hole and approaches you, his face black with soot. He is carrying something in a bundle under his arms. "We must talk in private, my lord," he says quietly. Without replying, you turn to follow him into the cabin. Turn to 222. After taking care to close the door, the captain opens the mysterious bundle and tips the contents onto his cabin table. A large charred earthenware jug and several blackened rags drop in a heap. They give off a strange oily smell. "This was no accidental fire," he says solemnly. "This was an act of sabotage. The forward hold is a food store, yet I find this oil jug and these soaked rags upon the floor. Someone on the ship is prepared to risk his life to stop us reaching Duriner." You both stare at the burnt rags as if they hold the answers to your questions. Suddenly a cry from up on deck breaks the silence. "Ship ahoy! Ship off the port bow!" Grabbing his sword and telescope, the captain disappears through the door, up the ladder to the deck above. If you wish to follow him, turn to 175. If you rather make a quick search of the cabin, turn to 315. So what do y'all want to do? I mean, last time, a few weeks ago when we searched the cabin, we didn't really find anything. So follow the captain. You got one vote for that. No, it was we found as much as we could find, but all it did was just say the captain was a good guy. What it did point out though, is last time that we found it, we had mind over matter to open the lock, and if we had tried to open the lock ourselves, we would have been poisoned and immediately killed. So since we don't have mind over matter, we couldn't open it anyways right now. Yeah, let's not let's not immediately die again. So follow. Alright. So we're gonna follow him. 175. It seems our bird has flown, says the captain, pointing to a longboat moving swiftly towards another ship on the horizon. She flies no flag, and her hull is of a strange shape. I ne'er before seen like. You watch as the lifeboat, or the longboat, reaches the mysterious ship. As if by magic, a sea fog appears from nowhere and engulfs the vessel. Moments later, both the ship and the fog have disappeared. Random number table. 4. So that's going to be 53. Ah, so we're back to here. No chasing each other around? What's going on? Oh, the dogs are playing. I'm looking after my mom's 2 dogs for a couple days because she's already gone up to North Carolina. Oh, they're being cute. So I never really see them playing, so that's actually kind of nice. You hear whispering among the crew and catch the words ghost ship and cursed voyage, but the whispering stops when the captain's voice calls for all hands on deck. A silence descends on the Green Scepter as Captain Kelman addresses the crew in a loud voice. Men, we are 3 days sail from Port Bax, but with a strong wind and a stout heart we'll drop anchor and feast there in 2. The fire has claimed many of our provisions, and rations are hereby cut to 1 meal a day. A guard shall be placed upon the fresh water cask, but we are strong. We shall endure. Any man found thieving will receive 100 lashes. That is all. The crew seems unhappy at the captain's decisions, but none of them dares to challenge his authority. Later that afternoon, you are invited by both the crew and by the captain to take the evening meal with them. Do we wish to eat with the captain or with the crew? Yeah, you turn the light on? Yeah. Alright, slow says crew. Straw says crew. Yep. 154. So we lose the 2 endurance points for the meal. The crew quarters are cramped and stifling, but despite a lack of space and poor evening meal, so poor in fact that you lose 2 endurance points. The men are pleased by their invitation, was accepted, and you are treated as an honored guest. After supper, they invite you to play portholes with them, and wager a little gold on the fall of the dice. If you wish to try your luck, turn a 308. If you rather decline their offer, bid them good night, and return to the cabin by turning to 197. So, are we going to try and, wager this time, or are we just going to go straight to bed? You just want to skip the wagering this time slow? Right on. Oh, Strauss wants to gamble. You thinking the new dice are going to help? So it looks like we need either Zapporo or Dream Citadel to break. They already used the restroom? Oh. Oh, good. Oh, that's right, Zapporo went to bed. So, Dream, you still here? You want to break the, the lock. Okay, so Dream is between going to bed or gambling with the crew, and we seem to be split. So you want to break that split? Last time we gambled, we ended up losing a total of 6 gold. Dream to bed? Alright, to bed it is. 197. What's that? You going to bed? Okay. You brush teeth every day? Actually... Here. Here. Yeah, exactly. Alright, 197. Also, Wesley, use the unused towel, please. You can just move mine because it's sitting on the thing. Just move it to the back of the door. As dawn breaks, a fierce storm rises, and you are woken by the violent rocking of the ship. The floor of your cabin is awash, and the shouts of the crew can hardly be heard above the howling wind. You quickly dress and gather your equipment and make the way to the deck. You are soon joined by the cabin, who takes hold of your arm and orders you to return to your cabin. Suddenly, as you start to go down, there is a thunderous crack. High in the rigging, part of the mast snaps. You look up to see the shattered pole falling towards you. Here's where we were last time. Oh, that wasn't Dauntless. That was my son, actually. Dauntless has passed out on the couch. So, we do 0, we die. Instant death. Any of these others will determine how things turn differently. I'm hoping we get 5 through 9. So let's see how this dice does. No! Okay, you know what? No. Because we already did that. 9. Not good chances. The chances are not high. There's no sense in repeating things we've already done. We've already pretty much repeated this whole adventure. %1 chance. Yeah. But you know what? Because we'll just get back to the same place. We can't have this keep being the gate. So I went with the second roll. I rolled 9. Let's go with that. I'm making an executive decision because I'm not going to have y'all watch the same story over and over again in one night. Different night? Maybe. Yeah, a different night? Maybe, but not the 3rd time in a row in the same night. And we're getting near 10 o'clock. So, 141. Got to be a record, yeah. Oh, yeah. Speaking of... There. Death count. Crud. Not great. As the mast smashes into the deck, a splintered beam hits you in the head and you are knocked overboard. Gasping for air, you fight your way to the surface and catch hold of the hatch cover. You are half stunned, you lose 2 endurance points. Except I forgot, we gain 1 back. So then we lose 2, so 27, 25 is where we're at total. Yeah, exactly. Another one for the 0 we just rolled. You pull yourself onto the makeshift raft and cling to it with your strength. If you are wearing a chainmail waistcoat, you must discard it now, or otherwise you will be drowned for sure. That's annoying. There's got to be I'm guessing the 1 through 4, or whatever it was, is how we don't lose the waistcoat. Like, I'm guessing the 1 through 4 is how is probably how, yeah, so the 1 through 4 is probably us managing to get out of the way of the beam, and we stay on the boat. Because this is the way I went last time. You feel dizzy and sick. As the heaving sea buffets you relentlessly, you gradually slip into unconsciousness. When you wake many hours later, the storm has passed. By the position of the sun, you judge it to be late afternoon. In the distance, you can see a small fishing boat, and beyond it, on the horizon, land. Only trace the green scepter is the hatch cover on which you sit. If you wish to use your cloak to try and signal the fishing boat, turn to 278. If you wish to ignore the boat and paddle towards the shore, turn to 337. So do we want to try and signal the boat, or just go to shore? No, I think this is so this isn't the same boat that we saw. So the idea is we gathered up those 3 guys, but then during the storm we got knocked off. And so off the shore, I guess, is a fishing boat out fishing. So this is a completely different boat. Let's see, we are sitting on just a hatch cover. Apparently, we are just sitting on a piece of driftwood. So you're thinking, Truss, you just want to paddle to shore with the driftwood, or okay. Okay, then we're just gonna paddle. 337. Okay, guys? Hello? Hello? Here we go. We got a doggy. This is Oliver. Hello, Oliver. You sniffing around? Yeah, this is mom's dog, and the other is Andy, so... Hello. Oliver, this is oh, and this is... Oh. Alright, this is Andy. Andy, you watching? Oh, God. She's not really out. Let's take your piece with me. All right, 337. When you are only 50 yards offshore, you slip into the waves and swim towards land. When you finally reach the beach, you sink your fingers deep into the wet sand and slowly claw your way up the beach to the shelter of some dunes. You are exhausted and very hungry. The only possessions you have saved are your gold crowns, your backpack, and any special items you did not discard in the storm. Any weapons that you possessed before the storm have been lost. Well, crud. So no more Warhammer or axe. Now we really need to avoid fighting until we get a weapon. Let's see. Alright, make the necessary adjustments in your action chart. However, a few hundred yards away, you notice a clump of small twisted trees laden with purple fruit. If you wish to eat the fruit, turn to 228. If you do not wish to eat the fruit, lose 3 endurance points and turn to 171. And if you have the Kai discipline of hunting, turn to 139. Now, last time, we did not eat the fruit. We made the assumption that the 3 purple fruit, or the purple fruit were poison. So we were like, nope, we're not going to try to. So we don't have hunting. So it's a matter of, do you want to eat the fruit, or do you want to not eat the fruit? Yeah, and since we have healing, it doesn't really matter losing the 3 hit points. We'll just gain them back. In fact, we get to gain 1 back this turn. Maybe they're psychotropic. What you doing, Andy? Look at him. What? Don't look at me, I'm not talking. He can't figure out where you are. Starting to walk towards you. There, he figured out where you were finally. I think he has trouble eating, or trouble seeing. Alright, so Straw says no eat. Anyone else want to weigh in on that? No eat? Okay. We have healing, we skip the food. Right. Alright, so 171. Let's go ahead and knock off those 3. So we'll go down to 19. Alright. $171. Behind the trees, you notice a wide coast road running from east to west. If you wish to head east, turn to 27. If you wish to head west, turn to 114. Also referred to me as artist. Okay, yeah, artist. That sounds a lot easier to do. I will do that. Now, what I will say is that as far as east or west, we are trying to go to Durner, which is on the east. We just landed, if I had to guess, probably right around here. So west will take us back to Home Guard. East will take us towards our destination. Okay, so artist says east. Concur? Okay. East it is, 27. All right. You walk for over 3 hours along the lonely coast road before night begins to fall. You are very tired and you decide to get some sleep and continue at dawn. You remember the tale told by your Kai masters of the wild lands between Summerland and Duranor, where the packs of wild dogs roam the wastelands at night. With these stories in mind, you decide to spend the night in the safety of a large leafy tree at the edge of the road. Your rest is very refreshing. Restore 2 endurance points. If you have been lost in your adventure so far, turn to 312. Okay, so we already gained back 1, so we gained back 2 more. So that puts us back to 22. Uh, 312. Although you wake to a cold and rain-swept dawn, the branches of the trees and your Kai cloak have kept you warm and dry during the night. Looking along the coast road in the distance, you see a wagon heading towards you. If you wish to get down from the tree and flag it down, turn to 117. If you wish to try and jump onto it as it passes beneath the branch, turn to 89. So, I think we tried jumping on it last time, and it didn't work, so we ended up having to pay for it anyways. Best to waive it. Okay. Anyone else have a vote? Okay. Slow wants to jump. Dream wave it. Strauss wave it. So we're going to wave it down. That's the sum total of the votes. 117. Have you ever wanted to? I'm sure part of me wanted to. It is a large passenger wagon, similar to those used by highway travelers of Summerland. The driver pulls the horse to a halt and stares at you from under the wide brim of his hat. You ask where he's bound for. We're bound for Ragadorn. Due there by noon today. A seat'll cost you 3 crowns, but you can ride on the roof for only 1. If you wish to ride inside, pay the driver 3 gold crowns, turn to 37. If you prefer to ride on the roof, pay him 1 gold crown and 148. If you cannot pay the fare, you must let the coach continue and begin your journey on foot. So we can pay for it. Do we want to go inside or on the roof? On Furtenderner. Fur, er, fur, 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 fur. Duranor. Duranor. I have a feeling more interactions happen if we are inside. I think we rode on the top last time. If I'm top down. Okay, Artist is saying inside. Slow is saying on top. Essentially. Going back to... Thank you. And Dream wants inside. All right, inside it is. We're going to pay 3 gold. And we do get 1 more hit point back. All right, so we're to 29, which is where we were before on the previous. We have 29 gold crowns, so we're still doing all right. We're going to be inside. Turn to 37. Okay, so these are some of the people. Inside the coach, it is warm and dry. Shaking the rain from your Kai cloak, you notice 3 other passengers on board. 2 women and a man who is snoring loudly. One of the women looks up and smiles. We should reach Ragadorn in 6 hours, she says, placing her basket on the floor so that you can sit beside her. You learn that she lives in Ragadorn, and she tells you a little about the port. Since Killian the Overlord died 3 years ago, Ragadorn has been ruled by Lachlan, his evil son. He and his mercenaries are nothing but pirates. They bleed people dry with their heavy taxes, and if anyone complains, they are quietly disposed of. It is a sorry state of affairs. If you take my advice, you'll leave Ragadorn as soon as possible. During the journey, you must eat a meal or lose 3 endurance points. Then, in the distance, you hear a bell tolling. You look out of the window to see the city wall of Ragadorn. The coach passes through the west gate and pulls to a halt. As you jump to the ground, you are greeted by the awful smell of the dingy seaport. A rusty sign nailed to the wall says, "Welcome to Ragadorn." The woman tells you that you can board a coach to Port Bax at the coach station near the east gate of the city. So let's go ahead and... We have 1 meal left. Zero. I'm going to guess we can either try and go as straight as possible towards the east, or see if we can find some shops around town. So we can either walk north into Westgate Lane, or we can head south along East Bank Walk, or walk east into Axe Lane. So do we want to go north, south, or east? Let's move our character because we are... Whoops. Yeah, we do need a weapon, and we have no idea where we're going. So yeah, we are essentially there. So Dream says we go north. Artist says north. Okay, so that's 2 votes for north out of 3 primarily talking. So I'm going to go with north. 122. The street follows the city wall northward. On your right, you notice a shop with a bright orange door. Unlike all the other shops on the street, it bears no sign above it. You suddenly remember the tales of the Kai Lords who returned from a visit to Ragadorn about a year ago. He mentioned an orange door in one of his many stories. We can either pick a random number from the number table, or we have the Kai discipline of Sixth Sense. So, do you want me to roll the dice or use Sixth Sense? Okay, we have one vote for Sixth Sense. Sixth Sense. We're not quite 50 cents. Usually go with the skills, right? Yeah, usually go with the skills. That's the usual MO. That usually turns out for the better. But we have the majority for Sixth Sense, so let's go ahead and turn to 96. Your Kai sense warns you that this place harbors evil. You are standing directly outside the orange door when someone strikes you. Turn to 112. And we get to... We're fully healed up, too. Forgot about that. And we don't have a weapon. That's not going to be good. 112. Oh, when something strikes you. Oh, as in... I feel silly. I thought something is in someone, like, whack you. But actually... It was something you remember strikes you. You suddenly remember what he said about the shop with the orange door. It is the headquarters of the Silent Brotherhood, Lachlan's notorious secret police. To enter here would be more perilous than entering a room full of Drakirim. You quickly turn away from the orange door and hurry northwards. Turn to 230. So yeah, that could have turned very dangerous. Probably an instant death if we had entered the door. You follow the street until it turns abruptly eastward into Beggar Lane. You can see how the street got its name, for there are scores of ragged men, women, and children huddled in doorways, all holding out their begging bowls. As you walk towards the junction at the end of the street, you are assailed from all sides with pleas for gold. If you wish to give any of your gold to these beggars, turn to 93. If you wish to push aside and continue on your way, turn to 137. So we are offered with a moral dilemma. Keep our gold or help the beggars. It doesn't say how much gold, though, which is interesting. It could just give them one. And what happens? We don't give them any and they start assailing us, maybe. So Dream wants to help him. Okay. Meh at beggars. Sorry, need weapon. I mean, what? Weapon might cost 12, I guess? Maybe 6? I mean, doesn't that seem about right? If it's 3 to travel, then it's probably no more than maybe 20 for a weapon. More than likely going to be about 10 for a weapon. $20 seems pretty extreme. But even if we just get a dagger, that would be something. And that would probably be pretty cheap. I think a dagger would be about 3 or 4 gold, maybe. And they may just say, oh, give them 3 gold. Throw gold. So Dream wants to help. Slow's not interested in helping. Strauss, are you saying throw, like, go ahead and give him some gold then? Or, sorry, Artist? Excuse me? Wait, what? You said meh at beggars. I thought that you meant slow as in don't help them. Or did I misunderstand? Give them gold. Not interested in helping. Okay, yeah. This is me enunciating. Helping them. I said so. I said slow is not interested in helping them, not in heaven. Sorry about that misunderstanding. Okay. Help the beggars. All right. That's the sum total of the decision. Freudian slip. Okay, deduct however many crowns you wish to give the beggars from your action chart. They thank you, but many other beggars are appearing demanding that you give them money as well. You eventually push through the crowd and continue on your way. 137. So now you get to choose. Y'all get to choose for me how many gold do we give them. So we can say 1, 5, 0. So whatever you say, I will add up, divide by 3, round up, and that'll be how much you give them. So Slow says 0, Dream says 2. So I guess Artist, how many do you say? 4. So that's 6 divided by 3, so that's 2. So I'll give them 2 gold. That seems to be the best way to do it. Similar to voting, but since everyone's saying something different. That isn't how I do charity. Okay, so 137. I'm probably more charitable in video games than I am in real life, and that's not good, but it's easier to give away fake game gold. Alright, you reach a junction where Beggar Lane turns south into Black Knight Street. A few yards along there is another lane called Anchor Street, which heads off towards the east. The rain has become much heavier now. So if we want to head south along Black Knight Street, we can turn to 259. But if we wish to head east along Anchor Street, we turn to 20. So south or east? Like to be generous by trying to make sure it's well directed to charities to make sure it makes the most of the difference, or friends who can help in a tight spot. Yeah, I get that. So Artist says east. We'll probably make one or two more decisions and then we'll call it a night. East. Okay, so let's go east along Anchor Street. Turn to 20. East. Okay, everyone's for east. You follow this rat-infested street as it drops steeply to the wharfs and jetties of the River Dorne. From the east of the edge of the waterfront, you see the Ragadorn Bridge. It is the only crossing between the east and west sides of this sleazy port. Pushing your way through the crowds of people on the bridge, you enter a rubbish-strewn thoroughfare known as East Trade Lane. Oh, trade. That might mean there's stuff. Turn to 186. You are standing opposite a large building with a sign on the wall, Ragadorn Stables and Coach Station. A green-clad coachman is sitting next to the notice board that reads Portback's journey time 7 days. If you wish to approach the coachman and ask to buy a ticket for the journey to Portback's, turn to 136. If you have no money, turn to 238. So we can ask him. We do have money. Because remember, we have 40 days. We have 40 days to get there and get back. So we got to go as fast as possible. So since we do have money, it says we can turn to 136. The fare to Portback's is 20 gold crowns, says the coachman in a gruff Ragadorian accent. If you have 20 gold crowns and wish to purchase a ticket, turn to 10. We do have enough money, so we can turn to 10. Woof. All right, we are down to 7 gold. Still no weapon. Yeah, I know. Unfortunately, we have not run across a shop. It's kind of like roll of the dice. I know later on there are instances where we can run into a situation where we get a weapon. But doesn't seem to right now. All right, turn to 10. You can go shopping anytime. Yeah, right. You pocket the ticket. So let's mark ticket. You would say this is a ticket to ride. All right. And the man takes you to a coach that is waiting near the east gate of the seaport. It is empty, and you take a seat near one of its circular windows. You are relieved to find that the seat is quite comfortable, for the journey to Portback's will take 7 days. Stowing your equipment beneath the seat, you settle back in comfort and doze off. When you awake, there are 5 other passengers, and the journey to Durner has already begun. Random number table. 8. So that's 339. Last time I went through that city, I didn't find a weapon shop either. So, and I took a completely different route. After only half an hour, the coach is stopped by some armed horsemen. They wear the black ship and red crest emblem of Lachlan and the overlord of Ragadorn. They demand gold in payment for what they call exit taxes. 1 gold per each passenger. The other travelers each place a gold crown and a small plated handed to you. If you can pay the tax, do so, and the coach will be allowed to go on its way. Turn to 249. We do have it. Sucks, but we do have it. It's getting close. 249. On Kurtz to Durner. Thanks. Okay, I'll go ahead and read this, and then we'll wrap it up. During the course of the afternoon's journey, you chat with your fellow travelers and learn about their backgrounds. Sitting opposite are two brothers named Ganon and Dorier. They are knights of the Order of White Mountain, warrior lords of Durinor, who have pledged allegiance to protect the country from raids by the bandits of the Wildlands. They own a castle and land near Port Bax. Next to them sits Halvork, the merchant. His nose is swollen and his face is badly bruised thanks to Lachlan, the overlord of Ragadorn. A little misunderstanding about port taxes lost him his cargo and most of his gold. Seated by the far door is a priest called Parsian. Like you, he is a Summerlending who has journeyed across the Wildlands by coach on his way to Port Bax. Besides you sits a young woman named Vivica. She is a mercenary adventuress who earns her gold by fighting for it, and sells her services to the highest bidder. She is returning to Port Bax, having collected payment for a successful adventure in Ragadorn. Not wishing to reveal your true identity, you have pretended to be a simple peasant. The travelers seem unaware of the war that now rages in Summerland. Turn to 39. Yes, this is them. So we have the two brothers. They're knights. This is the sellsword. Here is the merchant. And this is the priest. Peasant with 21 gold. Yeah, right? Exactly. I'm like, this story's a little thin. So 39. Let's turn to 39 and then I'll call it a night. Yeah, he does look super shady. Okay. There we go. Very, very shady indeed.